Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Muki Kulhan. I'm the UK Ambassador of WIIT, newly named the Women in Industries of Tomorrow. And we are so proud to be part of United XR and a long-standing fantastic relationship with AWE and Stereopsia and, of course, AIXR. If you were at the awards last night, I have changed my outfit and showered. Everything is great. So what we want to be doing today is our sixth off, as we know normally represents in immersive production 6 degrees of freedom, but of course we mix it up a bit by saying 6 degrees of female, and it's a format that we've been doing around the world since 2018, birthed at AWE, and we really want to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about WIIT and feature some really amazing, 6 amazing females doing 6 amazing things in 6 different sectors. So before I tell you a little bit more about WIIT, it's my pleasure to introduce my beautiful, gorgeous, super talented panel. Please continue this huge round of applause. Get the walk-on music going, please, for Kerry Head, the CEO of Igloo Vision. Stacey Shade, head of studio for Trick 3D, all the way from Atlanta, GA. Boop, boop. Leen SEGERS, our co-founder of WIIT. And Speety K from the emerging media artist from Blind Pig. Come on up, Speedy. Welcome. And a huge, gigantic round of applause for Nadia Al-Hadid, our WIIT French ambassador and the director of sales, EMEA of HTC VIVE. So guys, we're going to get stuck in. So also, thank you so much for coming to this morning's session on the last day. We really, really appreciate it. We really, really do. So a little bit more about our WIIT. I had to catch myself a couple times, like going, women in industries of tomorrow. It's kind of like when your friend gets married and you keep saying their like maiden name or something, or a man changes his name or whatever, anything like that. It takes a little while to get used to. But for now, we're going to kind of stick to it. So our Women in Industries of Tomorrow, newly named. Thank you again to HTC for sponsoring our kickoff launch drinks and our Christmas party, starting off the Christmas season. But what WIIT stands for is really, the reason it was formed, and Johanna, our co-founders here in the front row, is to really start to create a community to enable females and those who identify as females and non-binary a voice and create opportunities on stage, but also know that we're forming communities. We started with around 6 people or 9 people, and we're now over 9,000 people around Europe. We work very closely with other organizations around the world, and for really thinking about what we want to be doing to help create opportunities for both young women and no matter what your age is, religion, background, we don't care. Everybody is welcome, and we want to make sure that you grow and we grow together and support each other. So originally, as we know, I think everyone in this room in United XR and on stage has achieved something really important by acknowledging that immersive is kind of everywhere now. It's really democratized. So if you've ever been on Amazon or IKEA, just hands up, who's ever used like the AR through Amazon or IKEA, the desk? Pretty much everybody. I do the mom test. If my mom could do it, dudes, we're winning. We are so winning. You've got filters through Snapchat and Instagram, and everywhere, and in every city that I travel to around the world, you see immersive used into the descriptions of things, from giant pixel things to art museums and things like that. So it's so exciting. We're going to talk a little bit about more in a second. So we knew that it's time to expand. And we based this research off Gartner reports and thinking about where not only our industry as tech is going, but where we need to be focusing on and providing females opportunities and providing platforms to have voices. So we wanted to be focusing on things in various verticals besides the creative technologies, looking at embodiment and AI, climate tech, looking at quantum, space. We had a great WIIT panel yesterday around XR space. Oh. Listen, I know this is a women in tech panel, woman, but it's a tech show. What could go wrong? Some random AI. Yes, okay, it's being recorded. I won't swear. I did enough of that last night. But anyway, guys, quantum and health tech and beyond, and around 2:30 today, room 3, we're going to have our WIIT Present Sex Tech panel. So we produce a lot of really great content and sessions to go with it. So just kind of like fast forwarding, we've got 10 years. Next year's our 10-year anniversary. So expect a big party next year, even bigger than this year. Again, over 9,000 people in our community, and just grows and grows and grows every single day, and we're so proud of it. We finally have a sign-up page on our website, so thank you for your patience in following our LinkedIn and everything. We've provided over 270 speaking opportunities for women of all ages and all backgrounds and all verticals in the industry to again, amplify the voices. And right now we have over 18 country ambassadors. I'm very proud to be the United Kingdom's ambassador representing England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and also working closely with my Irish ambassadors, but also working closely with all the ambassadors. So Nadia is our French ambassador, Regina is our Dutch ambassador, and we have 8 ambassadors here this year too. So our 2030 vision is really, it's a Europe-wide impact. We have big goals, and guess what? We're gonna hit these goals. We need your help to do that though, so we're always looking for great partners to partner with. We're looking at goals of looking to upskill, again, all ages, around over 500 women is our goal, train. We got 4 years to do this. Can we do it? Yes. Yeah, okay. Good morning. Coffee is that way. Come back. Okay, it's all good. We're going to try to be supporting, our aim is to also looking where we can support startups, where we can do more corporate integration, and really, really re-stamp firmly the EDI in our industries. Because guess what? It's never gone away. We're very unapologetic around making sure that the things that you've been seeing, which we call clickbait in the industry, is not representative of the people working in these countries. And we're very, very proud to be pushing this mission forward. And there's a Katarina, our Norwegian ambassador. Welcome. And looking at like building our community. So I just want to get to our session. Again, please get in touch if you'd like to partner with us. We're always looking for amazing people to be working with, but we're looking at founding partners and impact partners. And so please come talk to myself or Leen or the other 7 ambassadors around here. So without further ado, are we ready to meet our panel? Yes, we are. That's right. Wait, are we ready for the WIIT 6th panel? There we go. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'm going to come join you. Hello, hello, hello. I hope that was informative for everybody. So what we're going to do is a unique format, again, that we've kind of been molding over the years, featuring 6 amazing females doing 6 amazing things in 6 different sectors. But we want to kind of break it up into what we call 6 DOF spotlight sessions and get to know our speakers a little bit closer. And then we're going to have like a round table. But we'd really love to make this is not treat this as a panel. This is, we're all sitting having a drink together, a couple big bottles of wine, maybe it's 9 a.m., maybe not now, not that kind of, and just really get thinking, get your hands up, get talking, and make this like more of a fishbowl round form. Feel free to move up in your seats if you'd like to. We don't bite. I might a bit later. I've had 2 hours sleep, but please feel free to move up if you'd like to. If you're comfortable, thank you anyway. So let's start with you, Kerry. Hello. I know we're going to kind of like go a bit down the line. So would you mind telling us a little bit more about yourself and how your career got started? And then we're going to kick into some Igloo slides.
Sure. Okay, well, hello everyone. It's a wonderful morning here in Brussels. I've had quite an interesting journey, I suppose, because I'm much more from the business angle of immersion. I was originally in banking. I'm a chartered accountant, so I've come a very different route than maybe many people, and was originally the finance director at Igloo Vision. And what we found was, you know, if we wanted to grow and expand and really make an impact in the world, we needed to do fundraising, we needed to do very sensible processes, we needed to be able to, you know, face off against big organizations and work with big organizations. So I came on as a finance director, and then with the joys of 2020 and COVID, I was asked to step up and be the CEO and start running the company in that way, where we had to manage, you know, the cash flows, the finances very closely. And I guess one of our ethoses at Igloo is, you know, to build a company that's sustainable for the future. So it's good jobs for our employees, whether they're male or female, to be a useful tool so that enterprise can make the most of it, that they can engage with their people. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride, and and it continues to be interesting.
Yeah. So I just wanted to preface that Igloo is a product that is a dome. That is, you know, I think I got to know your company probably 15 years ago at a tech show.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it like in 2 seconds flat, because I love products. I love getting my hands on it, like thinking of what experiences could be done with it. But I think what Igloo's done is like really revolutionize the way that we can look at 360 film and with 360 content, but it's more than just entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, we've moved slightly away from the domes and that kind of event experience, much more into integrating into the fabric of people's buildings. So we call it the Igloo retrofit, where we can turn any room into an immersive space. And the whole point of our platform, really, the software platform, is that you can integrate any kind of digital content. So it could be the 360 films, but it can also be models built in Unreal or Unity, so that people can actually interact with their data. So the kind of clients that that you make the most of our technology are the kind of architects, engineering, construction. So that you can actually view what you're going to build ahead of actually doing that building. So you can do clash detection, you can do project management. So that's a key part of our business. Another big part of our business is in education. It's actually how can you engage students, how can you get their attention, how can you bring topics to life, and the way that we do that is through immersive classrooms. And when we say immersive classrooms, we're not saying a few monitors on the wall, we're saying you're fully immersed in a scene. So you could be at the top of a mountain, and with a floor projection, ceiling projection, you can feel as though you're in that remote location, or you could be transported back to ancient Egypt. It's really exciting in the education space.
And it's very multi-sensory. You could touch and touch things.
You can do touch walls. We can do sense. You can do, it's really about engaging people in their environment. So it's really exciting.
So I've got some, I've kind of moved the slides as you're describing what you guys do and everything too. And we also have WIIT have a fantastic relationship with Igloo and the great team that you have in there too. So we love how you're integrating. And again, I find, if I didn't know you, I would say you have such an inclusive, diverse, senior management leadership. So tell us a little bit more about how...
I think that's right. I think...
the dynamics of that,
It's interesting because on our board, basically, we've got 3 guys and 2 females. We did have 3 females,
Nearly
so we're probably
50-50,
looking...
Kerry.
we're looking for another female. I think... And the great thing about having diversity and having women on the board is that, we encourage other women to speak up, so nobody's afraid to use their voices in the organisation. So, we have an operations director who's female. We have, our head of HR, our head of marketing. We have a lot of senior females. But we have some really fantastic senior males as well. Our head of technology is male. Our software developers are all male. Our production team is predominantly male. So it's kind of a nice mix. I think we'd probably want to, get a few more females into the production end of things. That would be something we could do. It's an exciting time, and I really, I would encourage women, maybe even if they're not, into VR or tech, to think about how they could contribute their skills, because we need all kinds of skills to build a company.
Absolutely.
I would encourage women to get involved, even if they're not creatives.
Absolutely.
You can be a sensible business person and be involved.
Well, I mean, you have engineering, you have product, you have game development, you have design, you have the game engine. You mentioned Unity, Unreal. We know that you've got visual effects, you got LED screens. I'm a fan. I'm a fangirl. But you mentioned it's great that you've got that 50-50 split. And we embrace our male allyship, and we know that there's so much amazing support that we do have from both genders. So I think you've got a video.
Yes, we do have a video. Do you want to play it?
Yeah. Roll VT, but I can do that myself. Let's see. I'm not sure. Does this have sound? Or
I think it does have sound, but it doesn't seem to be saying the sound.
Antoine?
That's fine. I can voice over it.
Okay, yeah, please do that.
So effectively, this is just a show reel of all the different types of content that we've got and the clients that we work with. We work with consumer brands, so you saw Nike flashed up there. We work with AEC companies like Lend-Lease. Atkins has been a great partner for us. We're working heavily with EY at the moment. This is a Man United work that we did, an experience of taking one of our structures out to Bangalore, and it was actually sponsored by Uber. And so it's all about a fan experience, so that people that don't have access, can't come to Man United, could have that real-world experience, but in Bangalore, and actually have a stadium tour. This is one of our Link products. What we try and do is have a range of products to suit different budgets. So some people want the immersion, they don't want big budgets, they want to be able to move structures around easily. So we've got the Link product, we do cylinder behind us. As you said, we do LED.
Yeah.
And actually, that's one of our new developments, really, is to try and partner with more LED studios as well. So that we can just plug our software in, because our software is almost display agnostic. And it's just like, where does it make the most sense? So you can see all the different uses.
Yeah.
This is quite a show reel.
Thank you. I'm going
to...
No, that's cool. I think it's quite nice.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kerry. Thank you very much. That's a great insight into in your background in a nutshell. So welcome, Stacey Shade from Trick 3D. Obviously, you guys flew over from Atlanta, but it's super exciting. You've opened a Dublin office. I know Stacey through some IBC Accelerator projects that we worked on a few years ago, and I'm super excited that you're here.
Thank you. I'm super excited
tell us a bit
to be
about your
here.
career trajectory in a nutshell.
Absolutely. I have a funny story. So I'll start with the elephant in the room, which is my voice is a little different. It's not because I was partying last night. It is because somebody hit our car going about 130 miles or kilometers per hour. So I am lucky to be here. I have a new voice. I had requested Catherine Zeta-Jones, but unfortunately this is the voice I got. So I'm very happy to be here and happy to be alive. So I started at Trick 3D 10 years ago. We've been around for 20. And what I would say about my career, I would say two things. One, for me, as I've reflected on it, it's about following the good. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. And the second would be to think different, which is, of course, I'm stealing from jobs, but I'll talk about those two things. So at Trick 3D, before I go into my personal story, we do immersive environments and worlds. We have 18 Delta aircraft. We have Universal's Epic Universe Park. So we have lots of different types of fully immersive 3D worlds that we use for a variety of use cases. But how I got there is following the good. So, I'm the first in my family to even go to university and graduate. And so I had no context of the world, let alone the technology world. And so at that time, following the good to me meant following les croissants and going to France. So I went to Jean Moulin and ate a lot of pastry. And then when I came back, I thought, well, what do I do? And so I just kept following my passions, what I was interested in. And over time, I ended up at Trick 3D because I was inspired by the work. And at the time, I was in marketing and communications. And at the time, gosh, it had been 10 years, and so they were looking for more structure, right? And we brought in a few different chief, what do you call it? Chief operating officers. Yes, thank you. And they just weren't working. And so there was this one woman from the Coca-Cola company who came by my desk, and I'll never forget it. And she said, I've seen you in these meetings. I see your ideas. You can do this if you want. And I thought, well, really? So I went home and reflected, and I came back and I said, all right. I went to Chad and I said, I'll do this. Give me 3 months. If I succeed, we'll proceed. And sure enough, I did. And 10 years later, I've been operating Trick 3D. And so my lesson there is follow the good and think differently. If someone taps you, if someone gives you a different idea, entertain it. Life is too short. So at Trick 3D, following the good for us means creating these amazing immersive worlds and then using them for our top clients and kids. I'll tell you why kids later. And we can use it for inspiration, marketing, sales, training, product design. So that's kind of the start of what we do.
Now, I love integrating the good positive messages into our stories as we're kind of weaving into things. Brilliant. So we've got a little clip to show a little bit more. And I think this is with sound, if we could get lights down to Antoine. Merci beaucoup. Yeah, everyone can dance if you want. Got good bass. Showreel. We could just go now. I'm just kidding. I know that some of that captured some digital twins, but we're going to come back to that and shortly. So we're going to move this on. Thank you so much, Stacey, and we're so proud of you and happy to have you here. We're proud of all you guys. So Leen SEGERS.
Hello.
Good morning. Bonjour, Leen SEGERS.
Good morning, everyone.
So the original Sixth-Off panel in 2018, AWE, you were on that. Yes. And Lena was there too. So Leen, you are the co-founder of WIIT with Johanna in the front row. And the reason why we know, obviously, I described what the importance of WIIT was too. But let's hear a little bit more about you and your expertise within investment, entrepreneurship, female founders, and what inspired you to kind of do what you do today?
Thank you for the introduction. Thanks for having me. Yes, I started 20 years ago, and I've actually been a founder I've been an operator for 7 years, then I've been a founder, and now I've been an investor for 4 years. So it's a bit like full circle. My focus, or definitely the founding experience, was focused on LucidWeb. It's my own VR company that I started in 2015. And actually that's also the year that I felt that it was quite lonely as a founder. I don't think it's depending on gender. I think as a founder of a company you feel lonely. And that's also why I started Women in Immersive Tech, basically, because I felt there was definitely a need to belong to a group of people like-minded with a passion for VR at that point. I started looking for it. There was not a European alternative. There was a UK group, and I set up Women in Immersive Tech. I'm putting a lot of focus on it because, of course, I have founded a couple of initiatives. WIIT is definitely the bigger one because it's still there, it's still active. But it also helped me in my career as an investor. So 4 years ago, again, investments, spatial computing, very male-dominated industry. So also in my journey as an investor, WIIT remained to be there as my group to reflect and share the challenges and the opportunities linked to our industry.
So it's, you've got an amazing eye for finding those gaps in the industry and making sure that there's representation, and especially, I'm sure everyone in this room has once upon a time, were creators we're engineers, we're building things, we're representing brands and product and platforms and software, hardware, but money. Everyone needs money. And I think sometimes you have this brilliant idea, but you need the funding to get into it. And I think, we wanted to talk a little bit more about like the gender gap and then the investment side of things. So where were you finding, where women in industries of tomorrow will need to be focusing on it?
Yes, definitely. We're going to focus on two tracks, basically, the founder track and the corporate track, because we understand from personal experience there's a lot of bias involved in both industries. Me personally, as a founder as well, if I could take a step back in 2015 when I started LucidWeb, what I know now is what is called unconscious bias. If someone would have addressed the unconscious bias with me, called it out, I would have been able to basically address that better in the steps I would have taken then. So it's basically that journey. It's not only my journey, but also, of course, with the founders I talk to, that we try to address, call it out as something it's unconscious, but actually we can make it a bit more conscious if we talk about it. And the same goes for the corporate track. My co-founder Johanna is here as well. She has a lot of experience in that field. And of course, her experience and her network, all the learnings we're going to translate as well in the corporate track. So anyone who is focused on the next big thing, quantum, climate tech, an industry that is per definition male-dominated from the start, we're going to try to address it as soon as possible. The moment we identify an upcoming trend, we're going to use trend analysis, for example, of Gartner. For example, embodied AI was called out as an upcoming trend. We focus on it. We focus on it from a founder perspective, from a corporate perspective, and we try to tackle it from the beginning and not at the end.
Exactly, and that's again, forward movement with all of us as communities working together is building the tribes, and hopefully all the right things will fit into place. But again, just this is a stat from literally a few days ago, folks. This is not years old. And a women in funding statistics. So when we were doing some research, we just wanted to show you how real things are. So much change has happened in the last few years and 10 years, and there has made a difference. However, as far as like entrepreneurship and startups and SMEs and smaller companies, the money is still unbalanced. Why is that?
Definitely in the pre-seed and seed stages of funding, there's definitely a bias happening because the diverse teams are receiving a lot less money, and it's really, I don't have the stats for Europe specifically or for Belgium specifically, but it's in an all-time low. It's even getting worse. There's definitely enough talent, so that's the research is proving that the talent is there. It's just the moment that you are in this position of having equal access to capital, networks, and jobs, that there's definitely inequality still happening. So that's a big part of the challenge. Unfortunately, it's not only in immersive tech; it's across all emerging technologies.
And what's the change that needs to be made?
It's definitely from being more conscious, from the female founder or female corporate pitching or trying to step up, but it's also, of course, we need our male allies to make it also as an unconscious bias, more conscious for our male counterparts to basically empower women the moment that they are basically stepping up and confirming that they want to go into these frontier technologies.
Exactly, and we have seen, again, a lot more support than ever before from our male allies, like opening doors, providing those opportunities into new training and more. Thank you, Leen, our co-founder of WIIT. Thank you very much. Okay, well, it goes straight to the video. Let's just roll it.
So this is Blind Pig.
No, let this play first. Listen. Volume up, please. Another party piece. Oh, wait, that was it. Okay, take two. with noise.
God dance.
Blind Pig!
Wow.
Again, we should just all leave now. No. So Blind Pig is an animation studio, and I know a couple of the folks there, and they were telling me about Sweetie, and I was like, who is this woman? I need to meet her now. And I said, are you available to come to Brussels? Because we need to talk about you and put you in a great spotlight and listen to your voice too. So before we get into Blind Pig and what you do and some of your passions, tell us how you got started and kind of a little bit of your beginnings of your career.
Sure. So I'm an emerging media artist at Blind Pig, but I started as a traditional artist. So I have a fine art degree, and I went into game development. So I kind of started as a game developer, creating everything in Unreal, but I felt limitations to the ideas that I had that I could utilize and actual speed that I could make it with. So I kind of turned into AI, and which is the emerging media that I could use, just to utilize my ideas quicker. So I could sketch a character and go run it through ChatGPT. At the time, it was just ChatGPT and OpenAI that was really available. So I could run it through ChatGPT, and I could create this character rendered, fully rendered, straight away. So I kind of turned into AI, and fusing traditional game development, traditional painting with AI technologies, which is what I'm doing at Blind Pig. So Blind Pig is a traditional animation studio, so we do 2D, 3D, very, kind of traditionalist painting, everything frame by frame. And my role at Blind Pig is to utilize it using AI, so just to speed things up, because as we know, the budgets get tighter, the deadlines become shorter, and AI is a great solution to that problem, where we still use traditional artists, we still use handmade, animation, but then just to speed things up, just to, make things faster, make character walk faster. Instead of using 2 weeks, we can do it in 2 days, but it still uses, our hands, our minds, our ideas, but using AI just to utilize it quicker.
Exactly, and I'm finding this is happening across our ecosystem where, we're, doing our best to embrace new and emerging ways to work, but really appreciating that hybrid approach and going back to the traditional ways of making things. So that's what I love about Blind Pig. Trick are the same. Igloo, the same, like creative, as far as like creative production companies, and embracing that. So we have a couple quick examples of the mice is, if you just give us kind of like a quick one sentence of these next couple ones, because the next one I have to get to, the cat.
Yeah, so this was for the government job, actually, and they wanted to create a stop frame animation, and they said, we have £0 to make it, but can you make a stop frame animation? So we hired an artist that was like a felt, making like felt mice. So everything was created by hand, by an artist. All of these mices were actually physical mices that we had. And we took loads of pictures of them from every single angle, from every single position, run it through AI just to train on it. And then we could actually create this animation using AI, but all of the mice that you see in front of you is actually physically made. The set design was made by our 2D artists at Blind Pig. So everything was actually created by hand. But then because of the stop motion nature, it takes a really long time. So AI was helping us to make things much faster because of the deadline. I think we had like 3 weeks to make this.
Okay.
Everything from scratch, so from the mice to the end of the animation.
No sleep till Brooklyn. Right, here we
Literally.
go. So, a floating head.
Oh, so this was for my very first AI job at Blind Pig, and it was with Shauna Heath, who's an Oscar winner, and she made an Oscar doing set design for Poor Things. I'm not sure if anybody saw that film, but it was a brilliant film. It's a very wacky, you know, all the sets are like insane, and she was hired by a company called Northern Data to create an AI animation, and kind of just using her as just to show how AI is not going to take creativity from people, and how extremely creative people like Shauna, who's an Oscar winner, who created all of these set designs, can use AI into her advantage. And she wanted to create this glass like dress. So she created actual real dress in real life, but then she said, you know, I really want it to be glass. I want it to look like glass. I want it to move like glass. And she was very specific about what kind of glass. It was Murano, which is an extremely difficult glass to imitate. So our job was to create a workflow in Comfy UI, video to video. So this actress was actually dancing in the dress, and we turned it into a Murano glass using AI, and it was an extremely creative project. I loved it.
The glass cat.
And the cat as well. So she wanted to turn the cat into a Murano-looking glass. And this is probably like a Frankenstein, actually, of AI. So as anyone that knows AI, it will never do anything that you actually want it to do from the first time, or it will do like a really beautiful tail, but it's not going to do the legs the way you want it. So we actually Frankenstein this cat from like 3 different videos, or maybe 4 different videos. So the head is one video, the legs is one video, the tail is a completely different video. And using traditional roto techniques, you know, traditional VFX techniques, we could use AI into advantage.
So fix it in post.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post.
We all fix it in
AI is definitely fixing it.
And so can you just rattle off the tools you're using real quick? Technically systems, but...
So the system that we mostly use is Comfy UI, which is kind of like an umbrella of all the things. Yeah. But at the moment, the most used tool that I have is VO3. I'm sure everybody knows VO3 because of the legals, because they have like the cleanest AI legals that you could use.
Yeah.
So I know
Google.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of these softwares are like from China, and UK government or UK ad agencies don't really want to use that. They don't want to be associated with that. So sometimes you have limitations with AI when it comes to commercial clients just because of the legals.
Exactly, which is why we're in such a wild west right now with the creative industry. You know, you wanting to try to embrace this, but people are now pulling back a lot more than ever before. And trust me, I see it across the ecosystem where the second you start to get into something, then you might have to think about budget for, subscriptions, copyright, ethics, responsibility. We'll talk about that in just a second too. We know that you have an amazing Instagram account. These are from some of your personals, but we're going to kind of move these out. So please plug your Instagram account. I forgot to put it on.
It's at SVEETYK.
So SVEETYK. Please follow her on Instagram. Thank you, Sweetie.
Thank you very
so much. We're going to come back to you in just a second. Nadia, our French ambassadors from HTC.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Nadia, how are you? Give us a little tiny, what were the beginnings of your career?
Oh, wow. Okay, I've spent many years in business and marketing in several positions with a telco background and smartphone industries. How I ended up being in XR and being the director of sales EMEA at HTC. Well, back in 2015, HTC announced their first VIVE OG. And at that time, they were looking to build a business team in EMEA, so it was time to sell, so time to do business. A bit of funny story here. So I went through the process interview, and for the first time, I tried XR. It was with HTC. And I don't know if you guys remember this crazy experience from WIIV the Blue. For people that know me, I love swim, but I don't like when I don't see my feet. So the Blue takes you under the water, and obviously you see these big whales coming. For a second, I forgot I was having an interview, and I swearing in French. I'm French, and it was. And this is where I realized the power, first, to overcome my fear, because in real life, still today, I'm not going to do it. But I was like, I want to be in. I really want to be in. It's so powerful. And then, yeah, years after years, I fully embrace this ecosystem. And yeah, it's a reality now. And it's amazing, after 10 years, what we've been able all together to achieve.
And as your quote says, it's not on the horizon, it's happening now. It is integrated. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about what you're up to at HTC, please.
Well, HTC is now a very rich XR ecosystem. There's the top of the icebergs, which everyone knows, is the VIVE division, which is our lovely headset and devices. But what HTC has been doing over the past years is really building a very, very rich ecosystem that goes from connectivity to hardware to software to arts division, VIVE Arts, and that's the one probably I want to talk a bit about and share a latest great success.
And then we've got the kind of fulcrum of it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously reshaping human experiences here. We see, I mean, just about 2 days, how this technology and how this is reshaping human experiences. If you see on the floor, I mean, it's crazy, and still today I'm very amazed by all the creativities and solution. And yeah, this one is very interesting because it blends art, culture at its finest, and creates a very rich experience. So basically, we team up with our studio called Atlas V, VIVE Arts, and this really renowned pianist called Yuja Wang. It's called Playing with Fire. I know the two ladies earlier tried to wake you up. It's time to slow down, close your eyes, and listen to the music.
So we're all going to have a nap.
There's a nap now, after all the dancing.
So good, so good, so good. Oh, and that was the end. Okay. Thank you, Nadia. That was a good. I know we're kind of crunched on time, and we wanted to get some roundtable action in. And as like the sixth off, a tiny little teaser about some of the work that I've been doing through the IBC Accelerator Program. So I'm the innovation lead, and IBC is the International Broadcasting Convention. So I work across broadcast engineering and very progressive, immersive, emerging technologies. XR's included in all that the last 15 years of my career. And some of the projects I'm giving you a quick teaser on, I'm going to run through this because at 10 a.m. in room 3, is that right, Roberto? Did somebody go? Is going to be, they're going to tell you a little bit more about some of these projects here too. So what IBC accelerators do is bring together broadcasters and academia from around the world, set out a challenge. The vendors and suppliers come in, and over the last 6 years, we've had almost 200 champions and participants take part. And this project, which you can learn more about at 10 a.m., was really focusing on where a framework for Gen AI can come in and looking at, working with like Comfy UI. They tested over 30 different platforms and what can be like really positive workflows for like efficiency. So we've been talking about this on stage today even. You know, there's skill gaps, there's production gaps, making things simpler, like trying to kind of smooth over fragmentation and industry lag and what's happening, you know, that high effort to low result ratio, and how much time are you spending with your teams, and when you are integrating this new software and new things to be doing, customization, and then of course, the framework that was developed and the tools that were developed creative, and everything can be found on the website, which you're gonna see in a QR code in a second. But after all of these learnings, this project was like no API, no integration, training data still has huge bias issues, and looking to see where realism comes into play. That is not only going to be efficient for a workflow, we're talking lip sync, we're talking things that happen in that human pathway, but what a lot of people forget about is the audience. What is the audience going to love? What is that end user going to appreciate and know what's real and what's not real? You know, there's probably a time the little babies you see in the pram might not ever be looking at what's real and what's not real soon. But I think it is up to us in the industry to, you know, embrace integrity, embrace inclusion, be thinking about ethics, be thinking about safety, privacy, bias, interoperability, but maintaining that responsibility here too. And this is a second project. Very proud we won a Broadcast Technology Innovation Award with an AI agentic workflow where a dozen specific agents were built to talk to each other within a live newsroom gallery and a control room too. So that's super cool. I normally don't include my projects in these things, but thought we'd throw in a bit of broadcasting into it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is our panel. We wanted to have some time to do a little bit of a roundtable, but let's kind of, for audience Q&A, you could come grab us for a coffee afterward, I think. But let's really, you know, get some good takeaways on making change. And Kerry, like kind of circling back, you mentioned, you know, the importance of, you know, our male allyship and embracing inclusion, you know. So from, you know, from a CEO point of view, you know,
I think one of the key things for me actually is seeing the kind of next generation, the late 20s, 30-year-old males and females starting their families. And some of the EU regulation, and I guess we get it in the UK as well, how it's encouraging men to take time off. And that's actually having great knock-on impact in that, you know, the women are getting more time off as well, because we're saying, if the guys can do it, we should be supporting the females as well. Right. And it's kind of, it's uplifting the whole company. And it's actually really interesting, I was pondering on this. In Canada, they're even more progressive. And actually, I think the industry will move to where the most progressive rules are, because you have to treat employees fairly across an organization. You can't say, oh, somebody in Canada is going to get a better work package than somebody in the UK or someone in America. So we actually have to raise our game to the highest standards that there are. And that's having an impact on how we view people taking time off, flexible working. It's becoming much more of the norm. And I think it has been driven by the fact that the males in the organization are taking their responsibilities seriously when they have kids, and they've got wives who've got careers. So it's lifting us all up. So it's really encouraging, I think.
No, and thank you for helping, you know, prove good leadership can happen, and creating these great diverse teams and keeping that going too. I want to kind of go back to Nadia as well, you know, because HTC have been such a really great example of, you know, a corporate company really showing good change internally. So
well,
can you talk about some programs, DEI programs that you guys?
Well, actually, HTC is founded by a woman, and she's still the CEO and the chairwoman, with a bold vision and also very, very supporting women. Part of HTC, I mean, it's not a topic anymore. I mean, we do have women everywhere, from engineering, marketing, business. You'll be very, very surprised. We do love a male and support the male, and the males support us, but there's definitely this space and this company that holds a vision for diversity, inclusivity. I'm French, originally from Morocco, so I'm an immigrant, and a woman. So there's many boxes here, And I'm very, very happy to be working with a company that holds those values and really empower women, no matter who you are, where you're coming from, as long as you share the value and you share the vision, as you're looking forward to work within an ecosystem that we, HTC, we're really trying to build and support. And makes our day very exciting. I want to really see this path grow. Sadly, the reason of our existence as WIIT is because we're not there yet, and you see in the charts. So I hope we can go faster now. That these ecosystems bring so many opportunities, no matter who you are, where you're coming from. Tools and systems that are more inclusive. I'm not a tech person. And if you want to talk to me about technical stuff, please, you can speak with other people of my team. But there's no more frontier on unachievable spaces because you needed to be X, Y, Z or male with this type of background. And this is what this technology now and this whole ecosystems offer. So please support the organization.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I think, so Stacey, I was going to come to you next. Like, what's the kind of biggest change that you would like to see? So it's been great to see, embracing inclusivity, looking to where other people, companies, startups are embracing inclusivity that Kerry mentioned, and then Nadia.
Yeah, one of the things I've learned is you need support both from males and females from the top all the way through. And I would say you have 1 to 2 in an organization who are toxic, no matter their gender. It is a stopper to innovation, to creativity, to progress. And so I think this is maybe a controversial statement, but I think
we don't apologize.
When you have, any toxicity in an organization, as the leader, I have learned you have to act. You have to act boldly and quickly to protect your team, to protect your innovation. I try to create a space with our founder, Chad, where both our males and our females can experiment, try, test, fail. It's safe to fail because how you learn is you fail and you try again. And that's how we get there. So, I would say it's support, and I would also say it's protecting those within by, outing the ones who are toxic.
Great. That's great things to be thinking about in our takeaways and the bullets. So Thank you, Stacey.
Yeah.
Sveti, I'm coming to you next because as an emerging media artist, I feel like a lot of things we're talking about is to also embrace you at the start of your career. What would you like to be seeing as you grow into your career and your life?
I would say embracing emerging technologies. I feel like because I kind of use AI in my company, there was quite a lot of backlash at the beginning of my career before they really understood how I can actually help them grow within the company. So just embracing new technologies. I guess there will always be a scare, especially from artists being like, oh, you're going to take my job, but I don't think people realize that people that make AI art are also artists that have traditional backgrounds. So they are painters, they are game developers.
And fine art degrees.
Yeah, they have fine art degrees. And I don't just do generative art from scratch, just a prompt. I usually create my own sketches or create my own photography, create my own paintings, and then utilize it or blend AI just to enhance it. So like AI is more of an enhancement,
right?
More like like you said, hybrid. So kind of, I guess for the future, it's good to embrace and realize that the future is going to be quite hybrid. It's not going to be one way or another. Like back in the day, there was only one, traditionalist that only used Unity or only used Unreal Engine. It's going to be very much a hybrid future. And the more we embrace it and the more we realize that actually we have to use it to our advantage instead of going, no, 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 I'm a traditionalist, I'm not going to touch that.
Exactly. So embracing change,
Yeah.
I think, opens doors to inclusivity.
Exactly, yeah,
Thank you so much. And Leen, our co-founder of WIIT, wrapping up here, the final bring it home statement. Don't mess it up, Leen. Come
All
on.
the pressure. No, what I would say, everyone in the room is a builder. It's actually not depending on your gender. Just build, stay curious, continue, and if it's lonely, look for your support networks, and yeah, persevere.
And get shit done is what we do. For my last statement is embracing your allies, be kind, and look for, again, break it, put it back together, and look to the person next to you and see who you could be working with today. This has been a Women in Industries of Tomorrow production. My name is Muki Kulhan. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Speedy. Thank you, Leen. Thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Kerry. Come back at 2:30 for the Sex Tech panel, chaired by our Dutch ambassador, Regina. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.